Hey guys, this is Spike from Noisy Pictures. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make a SpyGod server. Let's go. So the first thing you do to make a SpyGod server is to get the SpyGod jar file. So how do you get this? You're asking. So let's go to the browser. You can use any browser you want. You type in the URL, you type get spygod.org. You'll even get Craft Bucket, or you can have any other. If you want all the builds, you have Cauldron, SpyGod, and all that. And then I need SpyGod, so I'll get SpyGod. But for now, I don't need it. I don't need the SpyGod file. I already have the SpyGod file. Now, what I'm gonna do? So since I already have the SpyGod file, I'm gonna create a new folder quickly. Create new folder. I'm gonna name it server. Right. So I created a new folder. I'm gonna move the SpyGod file there. I open the folder. I have the SpyGod file in there. I'm gonna create a new text document. I'm gonna name it run. Now I'm gonna open it with Notepad or Notepad++. I'm gonna run it with Notepad++. I love Notepad++. Now you're gonna type @echo off. So after you put @echo off, you go to the next line, put two double inverted commas. Within this, you're gonna put the Java location. So now you're gonna ask me where do I find the Java location? So you close this. I'm gonna close this too. I'm gonna go to my computer, go to my C, go to program files. This is for 64-bit. If you have 32-bit, you can go to program files x86. So now I'm gonna search for Java. So I found Java. You have the version of Java. You'll have I have only one installed, so I'm gonna open that. You go to bin, and then within this bin folder, you'll see the Java file. So you're gonna copy this to the notepad. Within these inverted commas, you copy them, and then you put /java.exe. Alright, so now this is your Java location. So it's going to tell the bad file, you look here for the Java file. Alright, so that's done. Now next, you set the RAM parameters. So if you want your server to run with the minimum of 1 GB, you're going to do XMS 1G. So this is the minimum your server will use for your RAM. No matter what, it's going to use 1 GB. So the next thing is you're going to set the maximum RAM. Put XMX 2G, or you can even use 1G, whatever you want. It's based according to your preference. I'm going to use 1 GB. After you put the XMS 1G, you're going to do the type of the file. So the type of the file is jar, and then you're going to put the name of the file. So spygod.jar. So that's what's in my spygod.jar. That's what's in the server. So its name is spygod. So I'm gonna put it spygod.jar. So after you finish putting the name of the server file, in the next line you type pause. So after you're done completing this whole thing, you go to file, save as. You're gonna create it as a .bat file. Alright, so you're gonna save it as a .bat, and it automatically turns into a bat file. Now you close this, you open up the server again. So now you have two files. You can delete this, you don't need this file. So you have this run file now. When I open this up, it's gonna start your server up, and it's gonna put a lot of files here. So basically now the server will ask you to accept the end user license agreement from Mojang. If you don't accept this, you can't start your server up. So how do you do this? You press continue, you go to EULA, you open it, and then you change false to true, and then you save the file. You just save the file. Alright, so now it's saved, and you're accepting Mojang's end user license agreement. So now you're gonna run the server. It takes time to start the server up. So you see all the files pop up, and now it's preparing a spawn area, and now your server is pretty much configured. Unless you want to go for some advanced configurations, then you can go ahead and do it. So now what I'm going to talk about is the server properties file. So in the server properties file, all your server properties are present. Right, so if you want to change your game mode, if you want to change your MOTD, you go there. If you want to change any setting, any basic server setting, you go to server properties. So I'm gonna jump into that quickly. I'll see you soon. So now I'm gonna show you how to open the server properties file. You go open the file with Notepad or Notepad++, and you're gonna be given all these information. So what your OP permission level is basically what level of permission do ops have. So if you give level 4, they have full access to your server. If you give level 3, they have access to game mode, everything except to stop anything related to stopping the server or reloading any configs. So as your OP permission level goes down, the more commands you get reduces. So next thing is allow nether. So if you want the nether world, you click true. If not, you just click false. The name of your world, if you can create it as any name. You can even put it as test, or I'm gonna put it spike as the world name. So what enable query is that your server will automatically send data to the GameSpy 4 servers so that they can collect information on your server. Next, allow flight. Allow flight is basically if your clients have modded versions of Fly. So if they have like Fly hacks, then if you have it on false, the server will automatically kick them out. But this does not affect players in game mode creative. Next is announce player achievements. So if your player gets his first achievement like getting wood, if you set it to true, it will display that, broadcast it all over the server. But if not, it will not display it. So it's best to keep it on false if you're running faction servers. Now to the server port. You can change the port to anything. Like I can change 25566, 25567, 562, 63, whatever. I'm just gonna keep it at 5. But if you change your server port, your clients have to log in with the IP and the port. So if you have 25565, they can just join with the IP. But if you have the port as another thing than 25565, then you have to join with the port. Next is level type. You can keep it at default Minecraft world, or you can keep it as a flat. Or you can keep it as an amplified, or you can keep it as anything, or you can keep custom also. It's really your decision. I'm going to keep it at default. So next is Archon. So Archon is basically remote connection to your server. That's it. You can remotely control your server from anywhere. That's what Archon is. Level seed. If you want to put any seed like seed 1, 2, 3, or if you're picky about the world seed, you can just put it in here. You can just put it in. No problem with it. So what first game mode is like when you have creative and then you disconnect and then you come back to the server, it will force you back to the survival game mode. If you're in creative mode and then you accidentally disconnect from the server when you're in creative and then you come back to the server, it will force you back into survival. That's what first game mode is. Even if you accidentally got creative or any hacker accidentally got creative, then if you log back into the server, it will put you back into survival. That's what first game mode is. Server IP. If you start your server, it will automatically assign the IP. It'll run on it. You don't need to mention the server. If you do anything here, if you basically put another IP that is not yours, the server will not work. So next, the max build height. How much blocks from 0 can your players build? So default 256, it's more than enough. Spawn NPCs. If you want to spawn villagers, you can click true. There's no problem with it. Whitelist. So what is whitelist? If you are running a private server and you don't want like anyone to join your server, you basically put it on true. Like you set it to true. If you're running a private server, if you're doing a public server, it's best you keep it at false. Spawn animals. If you want animals like sheep, cows spawning, keep it at true. Hardcore. If you want like thousands of mobs spawning and like it's hardcore, that's what it is. It's hardcore. Snooper enabled. So Snooper is basically just like query, but it sends data to Minecraft servers. So basically it sends the server data to Minecraft itself. It sends it to Mojang. Mojang collects your data. That's what Snooper is. Online mode is if you have a premium account, then you can play on the server. If you're having a cracked account, you have to set online mode to false. If you set it to false, then any and anyone can access your account. So if you're using false, so if you're having the online mode set to false, it's best that you have an authentication plugin. Like when you log into the server, you have to type a password and then log in. If not, if you have a premium server, if you have premium, if you want premium players to play, you can keep it on true. Next is the resource pack. You can force a resource pack on players, like they have to download and play the game with the resource pack. You can do it here. PvP, true. If you want like a PvP-ish server, you can keep it on true. So basically what the difficulty is like 0 is equal to peaceful, 1 is easy, 2 is normal, 3 is hard. Right, so I'm gonna keep the difficulty at 2. Enable command block. I'm gonna keep this at false because if you need command blocks and there's any use for it, you can enable it. Or else, like if you're not gonna use it, just disable it. Game mode. The default game mode when players join. So 0 is survival, 1 is creative, 2 is adventure mode. So if you're running an RPG server, you can keep it on 2. If you're running a survival server, keep it on 0. So player idle timeout. So player idle timeout is that when your players like don't move or like stay there for like a long period of time, like if they stay there for like 3 minutes, they get automatically kicked. So 3 minutes is 180 seconds. So if they AFK like for 3 minutes or so, then they automatically get kicked. The maximum players you want is, you can keep it at maximum like 1000, like 1000, like anything. You can keep your max players at anything. I keep it at 100. Next is spawn monsters. If you want like zombies, skeletons, spiders, all that spawning, creepers, all that, if you want all that spawning, you can keep it to true. So what are generated structures? Nether fortresses, villages, and all those type of structures, like automatically created blocks and all that, they are generated structures. They automatically spawn in your world, so you don't need to worry about it. If you don't want them spawning, you can set it to false. So like there would be no villages, no nether fortresses and all that. So view distance, what you can keep it at a minimum 20. If your players are having good PCs, you can keep it at 20. We're gonna go to the MOTD. So what is an MOTD? So before you join a server, this is how an MOTD would look like. So that's an example of the MOTD. I'm gonna show you how to make something simpler. Alright. So first you put the slash, you put U00A7. So this is the base code for all the color schemes. So if you like, for example, in your server you want gold, you have and E. So that's what your gold is, yellow. Okay. That's what your yellow is in your server. So like Spy God and Bucket, and E is yellow color, right? So how do I get yellow color now? So basically what I said. So it's the same thing that I said. This is the base code. So instead of and, you're gonna be using this. You're gonna be using this instead of and then you put E here, right? So same thing. You put E here, it's gonna be yellow color. I'm gonna show you if this really works. All right. I'm gonna put it as test MOTD. This is gonna be my server properties. I'm gonna save the file and I'm gonna close it, and then I'll come back to you guys and see you in the server. Alright guys, I'm back, and this is how your server looks like when it's fully started. So now I'm gonna go multiplayer. I'm gonna add a server. I'm gonna name it as the address local. I'm gonna put the address as localhost. So once I'm here, I'm gonna put the address as localhost. I'm gonna name the server as test server. Right, so I'm done. So you see, it's a test MOTD. So it's like what I said, guys. You use the base code instead of the AND. So that's it. You just use the base code instead of the AND. So I'm gonna join the server. You can see I can go around, spawn, you can break blocks, everything perfectly works. You can kill chickens. So sad. You can kill chickens. Lazy kill chickens. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to Noisy Pictures and always stay noisy.
Fire power.